A New Jersey native, four-time All-American, set to face Justin Accordino of Hofstra. On the other mat, Tyler Nauman of Pitt, number 6, against number 7, Dylan Ness of Minnesota.
Semi-final matches.
And here we go with 149 pounds, your top seed from Penn State, undefeated
in St. Louis. Scott Trade Center, Adam Amin, Anthony Robles, Tim Johnson. National semifinals into the 149-pound brackets.
Well, you see the right leg there all bandaged up for Molinaro. A couple of rounds ago, he tweaked his leg, and it looked like he might have hurt it pretty badly. Won with riding time, 6-5. He hasn't looked as dominating as he has all year these last 2 rounds. Frank Molinaro, what a year he's had. He loves to go from the outside, and he is quick, and he's powerful, and there he is on the high cross, double-legged takedown.
Anthony, that's some of the explosiveness that we didn't really get a chance to see until maybe late in his quarterfinal match today.
You always have those matches where you might not come out as strong as you wanted to, might not have gone as well as you wanted to, but that's the great thing here. You have a chance to come back and come back even stronger. That's what Molinaro is doing right off the bat, getting this takedown, really dominating off the beginning of the period.
He tweaked that right knee yesterday against Scott Sakaguchi of Oregon State in the second session of day number 1. Ended up limping off towards the end of the match, and after he finished off Sakaguchi, he did not seem to have the same explosiveness in the quarterfinal match, but he did get a major decision against Eric Grajales of Michigan. In the bottom right of your screen, Dylan Ness, the redshirt freshman for Minnesota, the Big Ten runner-up this year behind Frank Molinaro. First-time All-American with a 2-0 lead on the 4-time NCAA qualifier Tyler Nauman.
And Ness can be very entertaining, just like his brother Jason, who's in the corner for him. Jason, the NCAA champion a couple of years ago at 133. Dylan Ness has an arsenal of moves, and he is explosive, and he can put you in trouble fast. Molinaro on top. You think, well, he's short. He's probably not a very good leg rider. Has nothing to do. It's his power and his leverage. He's a very good leg rider. He has so much leverage right there. You see where when his leg gets in, he's putting a lot of power, a lot of pressure on his opponent. He has been so dominant all year. He's got 17 wins this year, tied for the most of anyone over the top 33 wrestlers in the nation. So he's earned his #1 ranking. He's just built himself over the years. 4-time All-American, Frank Molinaro, the leader of this Penn State team, and he has been a part of something special in his career.
In the final 20 seconds between Molinaro and Accordino in the first period.
And speaking of brothers, the Sanderson brothers, Cody Sanderson, the associate head coach to the left of Cale Sanderson, and brothers have been one of the stories here. We've just seen the Steber brothers, but the Sanderson brothers certainly doing a job at Penn State.
Third period in a 1-1 match. Poles and Gillespie on that one.
Well, Molinaro and Accordino to the end of the first period. Molinaro on top. End of the first, in the bottom right of your screen, and higher scoring affair. Ness leading Nauman 4-3. Nauman readjusting his headgear as he gets set to be on the bottom of Ness. Tyler Nauman, 4-time EWL champion, just the 6th time in conference history that someone has won 4 consecutive EWL titles. So a very impressive season for the Pitt Panther at 30-5. Ness, first All-American nod as a redshirt freshman. Knocked off the #2 seed Jamal Parks earlier today. It was the first loss for Parks. He ended up losing his wrestleback match, so he will not place this year. So Parks hadn't lost a match all year, and then he loses 2 on the same day, and Ness started that trend off today.
You mentioned Sakaguchi, who wrestled Molinaro so closely. Sakaguchi just defeated Jamal Parks in the consolation round to end Parks' dream of being an All-American this year. Here's Jason Ness. We talked about it. What a tremendous comeback he had with the 2-point takedown and near fall against Daniel Dennis in the finals 2 years ago. Talk about a go-to move. He had one left, and it was good enough.
Makes the score 6-2.
Very close in a pair of matches right now in the 149-pound semifinal. I want to talk about Justin Accordino, though, for a minute. How about this? Unranked, the only unranked wrestler left in the semifinals from Hofstra, 26-11. Redshirt junior, first All-American nod in his second trip to the NCAA. This kid has gone through so much. Season-ending injury in 2010, had to redshirt, came back in 2011, suffered another season-ending injury to his knee. Would have wrestled at 157 this year, but one of his teammates, Vince Varela, a qualifier last year, got hurt, so he steps into the 149. This kid has done so much, Accordino, and look at him through 2 periods, hanging in with the #1 seed, Frank Molinaro.
Really is. Molinaro, of course, with that tough ride, and obviously has a lot of riding time built up, but he certainly has himself in the match. Accordino.
Accordino riding Molinaro. Is there pressure riding on Molinaro right now? Being the #1 seed and seeing an unranked wrestler stay with him, although he does pick up a big 2 points there.
There definitely is pressure on Molinaro being that #1 seed and being so dominant how he's been up until this point. So he definitely feels that pressure that he has to perform to a certain level, but it seemed like he's handling that quite well. You see there, Molinaro did a great job of just continuously wrestling on the bottom position, just moving, and it doesn't always have to be pretty, but if you can get that reversal, it's all that matters.
I mentioned Hofstra. Ron Ansbach, in his first year as the coach at Hofstra, doing a very nice job. We see the blue around these 2 years, or these 2 days of competition, and Hofstra having a very nice year under first-year head coach Ron Ansbach.
One of a handful of coaches who is at a new program for the first year as a head coach. Molinaro with a 4-0 advantage, final minute. Accordino hanging in tough against the #1 seed. And Molinaro has not allowed any opponents except for one, that's Dylan Ness over on the other mat, to score more than 6 points on him all year. So that's the type of dominance that Molinaro has shown. Riding time, a factor for Molinaro. He'll get the riding time point, over 3 minutes of riding time for the #1 seed. Meanwhile, bottom right of your screen, Ness and Nauman still battling for a championship spot. 2-point advantage for Dylan Ness.
Nauman needs to stay in, but Ness does a nice job of bringing him off. And Nauman used a 5-point move on his way to a win in the quarterfinals, so he's got the arsenal.
Get a look at Jay Ness, the father of Dylan. His sister Justine is here as well, looking on. Final 5 seconds. Molinaro, part of a great effort for Penn State, trying to close it out. He's headed to the national championship. And now 50 seconds to go. Bottom right of your screen, Ness and Nauman. Nauman needs to get the 2 points to try to tie it up.
Nice job. And it looks like Nauman, if he can drive through, he will. He gets the takedown.
Ties it up. Don't forget the riding time point still in Ness's favor here. Final 30 seconds.
Nauman has the cradle. A little desperation type of a cradle here. If he can turn him, but Ness is going to flatten out. He knows where he's at, short time.
3 seconds. Woo. And how about this? Another freshman, Dylan Ness, in his first All-American nod. He's headed to the national championship to take on Molinaro.
Minnesota's #7 seed, Dylan Ness, to the final.
Big brother looks on. Former national champion himself. Dad insists there too. And Dylan Ness will have a shot at revenge. Lost to Molinaro in the Big Ten final. He'll have a shot to knock him off for a national title tomorrow night. Let's go down to Quinn Kesnick.
Dylan, what were your expectations tonight when you took the mat?
Just going out there, wrestling the whole 7 minutes, and just believing the whole time.
What was the turning point of that match?
Turning point, I believe it was first period when I got those first 2 takedowns, but he turned it right around when he got that reversal at the end.
Late, looked like he locked up a cradle. You were comfortable though with your positioning?
Yeah, I was comfortable there. I had a good base, and I had his leg, and he wasn't able to flip me over.
How do you best describe this run to Saturday night?
Amazing. I ate the rest of the gold singlet. And Frank, if he just won, then I got a rematch against him. So I couldn't ask for anything better.
He did.
Yeah. Then yeah, it's great then, because I finally get to wear the Minnesota gold singlet that I've always wanted to wear since I was a little kid. And plus I get the chance to have redemption and get some revenge, because I lost him 3 times already.
Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow night.
There's his dad. Jay will get a chance to see another title. Molinaro against Ness. 4th matchup between those two coming up tomorrow night for the national title. Well, for Kyle Dake, 3 seems to be the match.